No preamble this time.
No preamble. Welcome to
Just
Fleeting
bam,
Thoughts.
get into it. Get into
Yeah.
it, brother. What's
Hell
up,
yeah,
brother?
brother.
Let's catch up, brother. It's
Hello
like
and welcome.
hello. It's like if
I'm
you
gonna
were
talk with my veins popping from my neck.
if you like were his like brother-in-law and you went to just out to lunch with him. He's just like just fucking how was your week, brother? Everything going good
It
with
was fine. It was fine.
yeah.
Gerald at the office was
Good.
being kind of mean, and I didn't know what to do, so I just sort of kept to myself all week.
Did you
I'd like to think
try?
his brother-in-law would be a very
Yeah, chill, dude.
um
Like gay, dude.
no,
Effeminate,
just a very soft-spoken,
soft, soft-spoken.
kind of a
Opposite,
pushover. He
opposite,
can't stand
dude.
up for himself.
Did you try a Slim Jim, brother? I'm just wondering if maybe that would have smoothed things over with your workmate, brother.
You know what you can do is you can get your boss a Slim Jim and then hope that in about 10 to 20 years, the stomach cancer will take him out for you, brother.
It's known to give people skin cancer. Also, stomach cancer, too, because they eat it. Depends on if you rub it on your skin, brother. Arr. Turns
Rub it
into a
on your
pirate.
skin and then yeah, why is it? Yeah, it sounds like
Turns
you're
it-
starting to become a pirate.
Anything with a
Longer you
deep,
go.
raspy voice turns into a fucking pirate. Don't you know there, fucking brother?
It gets out of control real fast. Real
Get out of here, brother. Brother. Get out of here, brother. My pal. My bud.
I feel like I gotta
What's
ask you
up?
just right off from the outset here
What have
because
we done?
it's like T minus 5 days away from Elden Ring. I mean, are you feeling the
Yes.
excitement? Is it like, do you feel your nipples vibrating with anticipation? I mean, it's just around the corner, man. Thursday night at like 9 p.m. It probably goes live. That's usually how it goes these days.
Yeah, and then the servers are all be fucking jacked up. Um, I'm excited, but what I'm worried about is too much anticipation, and
Yeah,
then
it just doesn't live up to
it's
the
just
hype.
gonna. I wish Elden, like, I didn't know anything about it. I'd never played any Dark Souls games. I wish I could just burn all that information out of my brain, because then it would be new and so good and all that. But with all the excitement and expectation, it's like I just want to go into it with like the chill, I'm just playing another Dark Souls type attitude and
That's
try
my
not
attitude.
to
I'm
think
like,
too much.
it's gonna be good, right? You know that.
Everyone
But
says
it's
that.
gonna be Dark Souls in a open world. Like, I mean, I think that if you just don't expect the second coming of Christ, you're gonna have a good time with it.
I
But some
do
people I
though.
think do really hype it up a lot. I'm like, it's gonna be fun. Like,
It-
I'm gonna have fun with it. I'm gonna enjoy it. But it's definitely, I don't think it's gonna like blow my mind. I think I'm just gonna play through it and get into it, and then after I
yeah.
finish it, I'll move on with my life.
I got a chance to play Demon Souls on the PS5 this
Mm,
weekend. Yesterday, I played a few hours,
it's
and
good.
it looks so good that while I'm playing in my head, I'm just thinking, I can't believe this game looks so good.
Yeah.
And the gameplay is really good because like you can pretty much react to things, and like the hit boxes are great. They like really did a good job of modernizing the whole thing. But
Well, the
what
big thing with the new consoles is that almost all the games run at 60 frames per
yeah,
second. So there's just a lot more, it runs smoother, and there's a lot more like not feedback, but reactions, like what you do. Like when
reaction,
you
yeah.
press the button, it just things happen faster. So it feels more like you're more connected to it.
Yeah, it
Um,
felt like I could react to an enemy and I could hit them first, and they wouldn't hit me because I hit them first.
mhm.
As opposed to as I was playing through Dark Souls 2, it was the opposite. It was like I'm reacting in as fast as a manner I can, and the game just it doesn't matter because the other character already made its move, so it's
Mhm.
gonna swing through my swing no matter what. And I'm usually gonna get staggered because of it. Because I don't know how fucking poise works ever. Um, But Demon Souls looks awesome. The only thing that Demon Souls is missing is all of the like modern changes that the developers added over time, like the way that the maps work. Like Demon Souls is very linear for the most part. It's
Yeah,
you
it's
kind of
all
just
about just going
go.
through the level and then opening shortcuts to get back to other areas
Yeah,
pretty quickly. Well, what they did when they built the game, I guess, is they got the PS3 version running on like the PS5 and then essentially put an overlay over it of new
yeah,
graphics. And then they tweaked, some of the gameplay because they said that they added some new animations for like the combat and
yeah. They did.
stuff like that. But they said for the most part, essentially what you're playing is the PS3 version just under a new shiny veneer.
Well, and it's
Um,
beautiful, but
yeah.
it's also faster, and so
Mm-hmm.
and it plays really well.
Because they said that they didn't really want to mess with too much because the game is so great. They were worried if they tried to redo anything that it might fuck stuff up. So they kind of just took what was there and then just made it prettier and run better, basically.
Sure.
Um,
It's just clunkier from like what is that called? From like a user friendly aspect. Like it's just like real hardcore D&D, whereas they just get a little bit easier to use later on in the games.
yeah, when I was playing
Um,
through it on the PS5, I was like, because I Demon Souls. I mean, I played it way back, when it first came out, and as I was playing it, I was like, man, I love this. It's like kind of taking a trip down memory lane, but also at the same time, as beautiful as it is, I feel like I'm playing a game from 2009. Like it just feels that way. It's sort of stuck out
yeah,
of time,
it
for better or
yeah,
worse.
it has um just little quality of life things. Like I ended up doing this run where you it's at the very first level where you're running, but there's a dragon, so you have to time it. But
Mm-hmm.
you're running essentially from the bonfire to the boss, and there's no bonfire in between, and you have to just like once you beat everything in the area, you're like, okay, well now I'll just kill the boss, and it's just this slog to get there, and then you die from the boss and you got to run all the way back, and then you die from a bunch of fucking bad guys, and then you got to run all the way back,
Was
and
it the
it's
first boss or was it the second boss after that?
second boss.
Okay, the first boss isn't too bad because if you get the
First boss
main gate
is
open, then you
great,
literally
yeah,
just run right to it. Yeah, the second boss kind of sucks because you got to run across all the bridges to get
yeah,
back to him.
you got to
So
go
yeah,
all the
that
way
one's kind of a
across,
pain in
yeah.
the ass.
Well, and it took me forever to kind of like kill everybody in that area and get my souls back a bunch of times because it kept dying right before the boss because there's like two blue-eyed dudes,
Mm-hmm.
and then a bunch of archers there, or crossbow people, and so I just kept dying right there, trying to get my souls, trying to kill everybody, and I just kept dying. I probably should have leveled up a little bit more. And then I didn't remember that there was a boss there. So I had like a bunch of souls. I
That's the
go into the
worst.
boss room, and then I kind of remembered the boss a little bit. And I
Yeah,
knew
the
that
Tower
like,
Knight.
yeah, the Tower Knight, and I knew to kill all the crossbow people first. But then I was like, I don't really remember. Like, there's got to be a trick because he's so big. And then I just ended up dying. So I have like 4,000 souls sitting at his feet right now. I got to, well, it's not even at my house, so I can't go get him. But maybe
Yeah.
my friend
Well,
will.
it's yeah, like you can either fight him like melee by attacking his heels until he falls, and then you attack
Yeah,
his head when he
yeah.
falls, or you can get up where those archers are, and you can either cheese him with some magic or with a bow. You can just shoot him directly in the head. So there's a couple. That's what I kind of had fun with Demon Souls. Is every boss there, like almost every boss, there's like kind of a cheap way to fight them if
Hmm.
you're having a really hard time, or like a more legitimate like
Straight up,
skill
yeah.
way of taking them down. Because I remember on some of the bosses when I was playing on the PS3 version, God, 2009, that's nuts, dude. It's like 13 years ago. But I remember some of the bosses I would like, you would look up like the wiki guide and they'd be like, oh, you can get them stuck in the geometry right here, and then they won't move,
Yeah.
and you can just stand there and just, so it's like there's little things like
There's a
that.
lot
And
more of
a lot
that.
of that
Yeah.
stuff still works in the PS5 version because they
Yeah.
didn't change that much of the game. Like it's the same game.
Yeah.
Um, so you could still like the flame lurker in the second world, like there's a um it's like a big bone, like a rib cage or something that he can get caught on in the middle of the arena. So you can kind of lure him to it, and then he kind of gets caught on it, and then it gives you a chance to just wail away on him before he gets unstuck.
Oh, wow.
Like weird little shit like that you can do. But yeah, Demon Souls is fucking awesome. That's my favorite one of the series, but I think it's
Hmm.
because it was the first one I played. Like it was the
Yeah.
original, and then when I went back to the PS5 version, it was like coming home.
Yeah, the PS5 version makes me excited for Elden Ring for sure, just because I
Mhm.
know that Elden Ring will look at least somewhat like that, but different. At least be better graphics. I'm just
Yeah.
now I'm upset that I don't have a PS5, and I'm like, I gotta play this fucking game on a PS4 and fucking not have, all the luxuries
4K
of
at
the
60
world.
frames per second and fast load
God
times and all
damn
that
it.
bullshit.
Did you end up getting Horizon Miramon?
Yeah, I do. I haven't played it at all. I've been
Uh,
playing Cyberpunk because they finally released the actual like new gen version, the PS5 Series X versions of it, and it's been a blast.
it
I
like
played a
actually
little bit of it.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's still buggy, but at least it like looks better and runs like correctly now. And
Oh
so
yeah.
it's still a little
Can actually
janky,
play
but
it.
it's way better than when it first came out. Because I played it when it first came out on my Series X through the backwards compatibility because they said on console that was like the best way to play it if you wanted
Yeah,
to. And I played a little bit of it, but I just remember it being really fuzzy and blurry looking, and it just ran weird.
that's
And
not good.
so I ended up just like I got a refund for it because they were everybody was like letting you get a refund for the game because it was so fucking broken. So I ended up refunding it, and then I bought it like a couple of months ago because it was like $20 or something on the Xbox store. So I was like, well, I'll just buy the digital copy because they already said that it's going to get a free upgrade when the new gen version comes out. So I was like, well, I already got my $60 back originally. I'll pay $20 now. And then I'll just, whenever the new one comes out, I'll download and play it. So that just came out like 5 days ago.
Whoa.
So I've been kind of just sucked into that. I've been playing that a lot.
Is
So
it's just like a RPG first
it's like a
person?
RPG Grand Theft Auto
Mm,
that's futuristic. Like
mhm,
when you're driving around the city and stuff, you're like, this feels like a Grand Theft Auto game.
mm.
And then when like you get out on and you're on foot and you're like using all the RPG systems and stuff, you're like, okay, now it feels different. But
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. I think you would like it, but I would not recommend playing it until you get a PS5 or a new Xbox or something. Because it's even
Yeah.
now they said with the newest updates and stuff, it's still not ideal to play on the PS4 and Xbox One because it's
Nice.
just not the systems just can't handle it. They said even some of the new stuff in the update they didn't even put in the old versions of the game because they just can't
You can't handle it.
literally can't do it. So
Yeah.
like some of the like the AI crowd systems and stuff, they said that the old consoles just can't handle it. So
Yeah. Too much data, not
mhm.
enough processing power.
So
Yeah. It'll come time eventually to get a PS5. Hopefully they will exist when I want them.
yeah. Hopefully, I mean, they keep saying that like, oh, by this time it should be more accessible, but that time just keeps getting pushed back with all of the supply shortages and chip shortages and all that shit. So
I fucking love chips, dude. Just put some Doritos in there.
yeah, there you go. That's all
Just
you
put
need.
some fucking
That's all PCs are made out of is
That's what they
Doritos.
don't realize. They're like, we need these fucking Chinese chips. We need these Chinese chips over here when you can just get some nice American Doritos. Put them fuckers in there, just squish them, crunch, crunch,
Just
crunch.
cramming all up in that plastic case.
Just cram it and it'll fucking do the work.
You know what you can do with chips is you can put a little water in there when you
Mm-hmm.
crunch them up, makes it like a kind of a
Ew.
moldable thing there. So if you're trying to fit your chips into a tight space,
Yeah, maybe salsa. Put a little
yeah,
salsa
a
in
little
there with
salsa in
it.
there,
A
yeah, a
little
little
fucking
queso.
little queso, a little queso. Now we're talking fucking gaming. Now we're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
gaming.
Now we're on the same
We're talking
page. You want that
hard
game spicy?
hardcore hardware, which is the name of a good hardware based YouTube channel.
Or I was thinking a hardware based porn video.
Yeah, what hardware
Hardcore
based?
hardware.
Where you have
Where
like
the woman every
like you have a
episode.
mouse fuck another mouse, but
No,
like
it's
these
like
kind
every
of
episode is
mouse.
just like a woman going into a hardware store and she's having
Oh, I get it.
problems with something, and then inevitably the very overly attractive hardware worker or hardware store employee, I mean,
Yeah.
ends up boning said
hmm
housewife or whatever.
Always
Yeah.
wearing like just the tool bag belt,
Mm-hmm.
tool
Mm-hmm.
belt, tool bag belt.
No, it's not. I mean, he's not too revealing. He's got more on. He's got
Well, it's,
like
it's like full. It's like
a
barely
full
hanging
tool
on.
bag.
Full tool
It's just
belt.
full of dildos and shit.
Nails
It's not
falling
even like
out
actual
everywhere.
tools.
Oh yeah, that'd be good too. Just a fucking dildo bag. Dildo Baggins. His name's Dildo Baggins.
Yeah.
That one's never been said before.
No, that's a totally original thought.
Yeah, it's like hey hot lady, you know what they say, you always want to measure twice and cut once. and then they fuck. Like real hardware related fucking banter. What other things? Do you
Are
have a
you
10
dilated?
penny
Let me get
nail?
up my tape measure and see.
Oh, that's what?
Well, I know,
Dilated.
right?
Is that what they is
The
that
pregnant.
sexy?
That's the pregnant lady episode.
Oh, but if they're dilated, you don't fuck them. You take them to the hospital. What are you
Not
talking
in this
about?
episode.
Not in this episode.
He's gonna help push that baby back in.
That's fucking gross. That's too far. Too much tuna on that joke.
Too much. That's what I'm known for, is taking a good joke
And
too
ruining
far.
it.
And ruining it by just going all the way down the dark
You
alley.
took a good joke. There was a good joke there.
There was somewhere.
Related to fucking a pregnant person somewhere.
And
Good
instead
joke.
you stuck it right in that baby's eye, and now the baby's blind for life. You ruined it.
But at least they were born.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You can be
Or
blind
healthy
nowadays.
other than
that. Good. That's great. Fuck yeah. And then like years later, it ends up working at the same hardware store. I'm here to bone chicks, even if I can't see them.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can see out of the other eye. It's just one eye that got stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He has like a cool glass eye now, and the other one that got poked out. And people are like, "Oh, what happened to your eye?" And then he just starts crying because this is such a painful memory. It's like deep seated in his infant subconscious.
Oh, that's weird. That would suck because I feel like pre-language, you're probably going through all sorts of like minor trauma. Like anything anything happens, it's like, what the fuck? I'm fucking freaking out. I don't have any way to describe this.
He has this like a severe phobia of penises, and he does it. There's like a whole period of his life where he had to go through some therapy to try to identify why that is.
He uses a little loincloth when he goes to the bathroom so he doesn't have to look at his own penis.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I don't like it. My own penis is
a
scary.
Little, like a fucking curtain that he keeps.
Yeah, a little curtain. It's like a with a little filter.
Yeah,
he can fucking pee through. It's like his own. It's a dick mask.
He only can have sex in the dark. He cannot, because if he sees himself erect, it's game over.
Or
his eye, his stabbed out eye just starts juicing, and he starts having a panic attack. Yeah, it's just the tear duct.
Do you think penises are like swords? They're not sharp. Is your penis sharp? Can you stab somebody with it?
I guess we can.
It's like
talking about penis shapes.
If stabbing was like putting a spoon in an already existing hole, like that's not stabbing.
Well, I just mean, I feel like you could stab somebody's eye out with a penis if you pushed hard enough.
No fucking way, dude. No fucking
You don't
way.
think so?
Penis is just like skin and cartilage, right?
It's like the gristle of the steak.
There's no bone in there. It's definitely like the gristle. But what I'm saying is like it's gonna give the way that like the tip of your nose there gives. Like if you try to stab somebody with just the tip of your nose, it's gonna break and then you'll get to your bone.
I just think you might be able to damage him. I don't think you could break somebody's jaw with your penis, like if you stabbed him in the fucking face with it. Well,
that's different. That's not stabbing, that's smacking. And I think that's more likely. It's more like a bat than a knife. Let's just establish that.
We need to befriend somebody who is a physician that we can bring onto the show to ask these really interesting questions to. Can a man stab a baby's eye out with his penis while having sex with the pregnant mother? Like, this is a question that we need a physician's assistance for, I think.
A physician's assistant?
Mm-hmm.
But they wouldn't have all the answers. We need a real physician's assistant.
We need the assistance of a physician, is what I mean.
Is that a PA, physician's assistant? Isn't that just a
it's
nurse?
usually an MA, a medical assistant.
Oh,
or a nurse.
You're the closest to any of that. You get somebody on here.
Okay.
Do you know any psychotherapists?
Yeah, I'll just tour my work around to the different clinics and be like, who's interested in coming onto a podcast to answer the hard questions.
Yeah. And don't tell them what it is first.
Yeah, they'll just assume it's about like COVID or something, and I'm like, and then they get here and they're like, they have their COVID pamphlets and like all their information to share with us, and we're like, no.
You misread this situation.
COVID's fucking old news. Okay, that's 2021's business. This is 2022. Now we're into the
real questions,
stabbing questions.
Yeah, like, is the dick similar to, analogous to, analog to a sword? That's the question I need to know. No, what we need is a sword expert. That's
Yeah,
who really will
maybe
know
a
that
doctor
answer.
and sword master,
It's
and maybe a
sword.
blacksmith for good measure too, because you
Well,
never know.
that
Maybe they'll have
seems
some insight.
racist. Like, why don't we just get a regular smith? Just any smith.
Oh, okay. A
There's
metalworking smith.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Thank you. Oh, I thought you meant just a guy whose name was Smith, but he happened to be black.
Oh yeah.
That kind of
And everybody
blacksmith.
in his neighborhood calls him, oh yeah, that's old blacksmith over there. And I'm like, what?
Well, it's to differentiate between
You know what
brown
would be
smith
funnier
and
is if it
yellow
was a
smith.
whole neighborhood of black people, but they still called him black. Because normally
Yeah.
in white neighborhoods, they'd be like, oh, that's blacksmith because he's the one black guy in the whole fucking neighborhood. But what if it was a whole neighborhood of black people, and then they're still like, that's blacksmith?
Because there's other smiths
but if they're all black people, it would just be funny. Like
and
he's
no one else
blacksmith,
is. They just are really
and everybody else
making
is
sure
just
you know.
by their name, but he still preferred to have black in his title for some reason.
What if, Channing? What if? I don't fucking know. Let's do it. Let's find a community and
I
find
just feel like
out.
if I was in that situation, all my other questions would be pushed aside, and the only question I'd be asking would be, why is he going by blacksmith? If
Mhm.
it, you know,
Maybe because he's actually like a metal working motherfucker.
maybe that's what it is, and we're racist for assuming that he was calling himself blacksmith because of the color of his skin.
Well, he wasn't calling himself blacksmith. Everybody in town was calling him blacksmith, and we thought, well, that seems kind of strange. Because like, why do you need to make sure no he's black? We already know he's black.
Have you been keeping up with South Park at all?
No.
Okay, so
I don't know where to watch it even.
Oh, okay. So there's one of the new episodes from the season that just started is the character Tolkien, the black kid. So there's a whole episode based around the fact that Stan didn't realize that his name was actually Tolkien, as in Tolkein. He was named after the J.R.R. Tolkien.
Okay.
He thought his name was Token, Token, as in the token black guy, because that's literally what his name has been through the whole show.
Yeah, I thought that's what his name was.
Yeah, but the whole episode
Token.
is a joke on the fact that Stan's the only person who didn't realize his name was actually Tolkien, not Token.
Oh, so he's
and
been
everybody else
is
like,
time.
yeah, his name's Tolkien. Why did you not realize it? It's just kind of like a meta joke on
on the show.
Yeah. It was really funny.
Even though his name is Token until that episode.
Yeah, and then that's the joke. Is like it was Token the whole time, and then suddenly they.
But all of us, like it's even like a joke on us that we
they
just
do some,
accepted that he was Token.
Yeah, they do some like mild like fourth wall breaking with it. They're like, why would you think that the one black character in this show's name was Token?
Yeah, even though if you look back, it definitely is.
Yeah, it was really funny.
I'm pretty sure there's an episode when he's introduced as a character, and I think it's pretty obvious, like they're going for a straight up Token black guy character.
Yeah, well, it's funny is he's like the rich kid in the town and everything. But I even went back to just because I was like, wait, what if they really, what if it really was Tolkien this whole time? Yeah. So I went back to like an older episode with the subtitles on where, I was like, no, it's Token. Okay.
Yeah.
I felt like it was, but I was like, maybe I am that guy too. Maybe I really thought that it was just them making a joke on the Token black guy the whole time.
Those guys over at the South Parks always making their fucking satiricals. Any other movies, televisions you've been watching lately?
We just finished that Peacemaker show, which was okay.
It's a show?
Yeah, it's a show.
It's a show? Oh, I thought it was a movie.
Well, it's a spin-off of the last Suicide Squad movie. Yeah, it's like takes place after the movie's over, and it just follows Peacemaker. It's like a little mini series thing.
Okay.
It's pretty outlandish and crazy and zany and pretty funny.
Yeah, Cena, I like him. He's pretty. He's like a Chris Rock kind of. Doesn't take himself too seriously, but he's big and can do a lot. Big, bulky.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. If you started your profession as a wrestler, how seriously have you ever taken yourself?
Not very, I suppose. Yeah, because they're not. You can bet some of them take it real serious.
Some of them, I'm sure. They really get into it, but. Yeah. Wrestling is one of those things Definitely not for me. I don't understand the appeal. Like when you see commercials for it, I'm like, what the fuck? It's like
No.
watching a male soap opera with a bunch of dudes that are mostly naked, grappling each other, and then like stirring up weird fake drama amongst themselves. I don't know. The whole thing is just really bizarre.
It's yeah, it's a weird entertainment for sure.
Hmm.
It's all just like acting. It's physical acting. It's
Yeah.
somebody who was like, I only have physical acumen. I can fall on the floor real good. Let's do something with it.
Yeah. I mean, I watched wrestling when I was a kid, but I never really paid attention to the drama happening in between. It was like I just wanted to see two dudes brawl. That's all I really cared about. So
Yeah. And then you find out it's fake and you're like, well, I can't really watch this
yeah,
anymore.
well, you can
It's
kind
dumb.
of tell even when you're a little kid when they're like punching and they punch like this, and they also
Hmm.
stomp their foot at the same time that they're
Yeah.
punching to really accentuate. Anyway,
Yeah.
you're just like, is that how fucking people punch in real life? You go to school and like try to fight your bully. You're just like, deal with it, bitch.
Yeah. I fucked your mom. And then he's not playing along, so he punches you for real
Yeah,
in
he
the
just
face.
fucking punches you in the throat, kicks you in the crotch, leaves you crying on the ground.
I watched that new show Reacher based on the books.
Okay.
And
How
I
was
actually
that?
watched the movie right before that because I
Didn't
was
Tom
like,
Cruise do a couple of them?
I don't know,
Right?
he did one for sure.
I thought they were. Oh, okay. Yeah, I
I don't
thought
know.
maybe I'm getting Mission
I
Impossible
think
and
it's
that mixed
called.
up.
I think the movie's called Jack Reacher.
Hmm.
And then the new show is I forget his name. The main guy is a massive fucking bodybuilding motherfucker.
Yeah, that
Um,
guy is pretty intense.
he's very big, and
Tom
the
Cruise
show's
did two of them, by the
he
way.
did
He
too.
did. Yeah, he did Jack Reacher in 2012, and then Jack Reacher Never Go Back in 2016.
Did he?
So
I bet he went back. But the guy from the new Reacher show on Amazon is the main character, one of the main characters in a show called Blue Mountain State, which I guess a lot of people didn't see, but it was on Netflix for a long time, and I watched it through like 2 or 3 times. It's
hmm.
a it's a comedy making fun of like Friday Night Lights kind of stuff, just anything football
Hmm.
and like college culture. And he played this like just idiot jock, like main character jock fucking football player. I was gonna name a position and I was like, I don't fucking know what position he's in. He's so big, he's probably like a linebacker or a front
There
end
you
or
go. Linebacker's
tight
very safe.
end. He's got a tight end. He's got
Oh,
a
okay. Very, very tight.
tight little bit.
Like maybe a little too tight. Like
Is there a thing?
loosen it up a little bit, okay? Because I don't know if your turds are even
Well,
getting
that's
out of
your
that end.
job.
It's so
That's
tight.
your job. Your job's to loosen it up with
Okay.
fingers and
Oh, okay.
spoons.
A little Vaseline on the tip and just sort of wiggle it around,
Just
loosen some
loosen
things
it
up.
up. Take a deep breath now.
Hmm.
But if you haven't seen Blue Mountain State, that is a great fucking show. I don't know where you can watch it now because I don't think it's on Netflix anymore. It's very like I guess underground comedy. It was very vulgar and a lot of drug use and such and things. But I really liked it, and he was super funny in it. And then in the show Reacher, it's a totally different part for him, and he's like super big, but he's also like uh uh savant, uh fucking Sherlock Holmesian fucking characters because he's
Oh, so
also
he's like
he's an
super smart.
investigator.
He's super ripped.
He's
He's just slaying
way
poon
rich.
all
Oh,
day. He's
he
annihilating all the bad guys. Okay.
yes,
It's
this
like
is the
fucking
show.
superhero.
But he's also like but it also has like
He's
all the
like
stuff.
emotional. He's got some trauma from the
No, he has
past that he's
almost
trying to deal with.
he does, but there's not a lot of emotions going on,
No, okay.
which kind of fits the character. But he is also um like the best investigator of crime ever. He can look at something and just go, "Oh, this is from exactly, fucking north by northwest. The bullet came from this way and this and then he takes like the position of the fucking, person who got killed and he's like, "Oh, he knelt down right here. This is where he died." And you're like, "How the fuck do you know, you fucking idiot?" This is not how police work is done at all. But I guess you're a fucking genius somehow.
Does he have a weakness though? That's the question.
Not
Because he
really. He's
sounds he
very
sounds like yeah.
John Wick esque. He gets into a fight at some point. Spoiler, with a guy who has a crowbar. Is it crow or kroll?
I think it's Crow.
Crowbar?
Crow, crowbar.
A crowbar. He's got, is it because it's black? Um, Crows are black.
Yeah, I
Crowbar?
understand.
Or is it for
I
hidden
don't think
crows?
I feel like crows are usually just sort of like a gray metal color, aren't they? Isn't it just a big fucking piece of iron basically that you used to pry shit open and beat people to
Yeah,
death?
but crowbars are usually black because they're like black. I don't know what.
Because crows are black, so and they
Crowbar.
called it crows.
There's a bar in Portland called the Crowbar. Uh it's called a wrecking bar,
Mm.
flat bar, pry bar. I don't know where the crow part comes into play. Uh what is the meaning of crowbar? An iron or steel bar that is usually wedge shaped. It's crowbar, but it looks like it's one word.
Yeah, crowbar is
Crowbar.
one word.
Well, that's interesting. Not really. He gets into a fight with a guy who has a crowbar who hits him multiple times in the arms and like the side. No problem. He's
Yeah,
good.
that would
That
fucking
would
destroy you,
break
dude.
your shit immediately. You would
Yeah.
be completely fucking done with that fight the second a crowbar hits you almost anywhere in your body. It's like massive amount of
No,
steel.
Joe, you don't get it. He just had a lot of adrenaline going, okay?
Okay, so then at least he'd be done afterward. Like he'd
Right.
need like 3 weeks off to fucking heal. It's fucking crazy. So he's very, it gets a little bit unrealistic at points where he's just like kind of a god. But he looks like it, so he can get
Yeah,
away
so
with it.
kudos to him. Good for him. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna look up his name so we can give him some
Some
credit.
dues for being God.
What's his fucking name? Fucking name. Fucking name. Dicker Gerbs. His name is Alan Richson. Ritchson.
He's a
Alan
rich
Richson.
son.
Yeah, Blue Mountain State. That's gonna be my recommendation right now. I'm just telling you right
Oh,
fucking
okay.
now. I'm
All right.
skipping to the
Blue
head.
Man's
Skipping
Day.
ahead.
Keeping right on
I don't
up
know
here.
where you're gonna sit and fucking watch it. I watched a bunch of episodes of Dexter New Blood.
Yeah, I need to get around to that because I'm curious to see how they brought it back and how they, I guess, try to wrap it up again.
Yeah, I didn't get very far, so I only got about 5 episodes in because I was staying at my friend's house, and he has a thing called Plex, and Plex is like a sharing program somehow, and there's almost everything on it, so you can just kind
Yeah,
of watch
Plex
whatever.
isn't. Well, Plex is like a server that you can upload your files onto. That way you have them available to stream.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who borrow, we'll say, things from the internet, set up Plex servers and then they upload it on there.
So. Yeah, they borrow copywritten material. Fucking
for their own use. They're definitely not doing it illegally, I'm sure.
I'm sure it's legal to share
but
it.
yeah, I've never really gotten into shows like that, like the Reacher. There's that other one, the Jack Ryan show. What's the one that's got
that sounds like a it's Jack Ryan, the character, but he has like a talk show.
Right.
It's the Jack Ryan show, and he's just like, oh, I've killed like 4 people today. How about you?
That's the one with John Krasinski, and it's like the same kind of thing where he's like
isn't it?
Well, he does a show. I think it's on Amazon. I don't know if it's called Jack Ryan. Maybe it is, or maybe it's got a different name. But I just know that's the character's name. Because what's funny is that a bunch of actors have played Jack Ryan in the past because he's like a Tom Clancy, I think, character. But he was played by Harrison Ford in some movies. I think fucking Alec Baldwin played him in a movie, and he's been played by like all these different actors. Every time they like try to reboot the movie franchise, they have a new actor play the character, and it usually doesn't end up working out. But
the show is
the
called,
latest one to take it on.
Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, and it has 2 seasons. I didn't realize it was a show though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not super into those either. They're too one-sided, and the main characters tend to just be gods, and I think that's obnoxious. I'm not into that, like the whodunits very often either, or the like mystery or even like Law and Order. Like I'm not huge into anything like that.
Like the procedural. Stuff.
Yeah, like they spend forever like looking at clues and not doing anything that's like particularly realistic as far as like the one guy does everything related to the investigation. He does all the interviews, he does all the
Hmm.
forensics, he does everything and all this stuff, and he can shoot perfectly, and he can
And luckily for
do
him,
everything
none of
and
the
drive
villains that he
everything.
goes up against have very good accuracy.
No.
I mean, maybe he'll get hit like in the arm, like grazed or something in the final confrontation of the episode, where a couple stitches will have him right as rain for episode
Oh
2.
yeah, no, he'll be fine.
Or he'll take a few crowbar blows to the body, but nothing that a episode of rest wouldn't resolve. So,
It looks like you can watch Blue Mountain State on Amazon.
no, okay. Well, there we go.
Amazon.com is what it's called. Have you ever heard that
Amazon
website?
Prime Video. That's a fancy
Amazon,
one.
Amazon.com. Um, I'm trying to figure out how to get to Amazon Prime Video without is it its own website now?
I think so. I think if you could probably just Google Prime Video or something, because I know it's its own separate app, like
Yeah.
on your phone or whatever
Like if you
tablet.
go to Amazon.com, it doesn't have um a spot for movies and television. It's like a whole different thing.
I think it might be under in one of the categories, because you can still buy Blu-rays and shit on there, but I think Prime Video is kind of its own separate streaming service thing outside of it. Like
God
same with
dang
their
it.
Amazon Music, it's kind of its own separate app and stuff. You don't go
Yeah.
to Amazon's website to listen to the music.
But you'd think if it's Amazon, you should have a fucking easy way to get to where you're going if it's Amazon. Like it
You
might not
would
be
think.
exactly on that page, but it should be like a link that's easy to find. But Amazon's getting so bloated that's, I don't
You're
know.
taking over the world, man.
Yeah, I guess commercially.
It's so convenient. Like we had our little fan, like our vent fan in our bathroom burnt out the other day, so we had to get like a new little motor to replace it. And so I was like, I was gonna order one on Amazon. I was like, nah, we'll just like drive over to the Jerry's. That's it's like a few miles away. Drive over to Jerry's. We're looking around. We're like asking the people where they are, and then but we find the aisle that they're in, and then they don't even have the one that we. And I'm like, fuck, I should have just fucking ordered it on Amazon. So
Hmm.
then while we're standing in Jerry's, I'm like, I'm ordering it because we
Hmm.
wasted all this time coming over here for no reason. And then it showed up today. No problem. I'm just
Hmm.
like, this is why Amazon is taking over, because we literally spent like a half hour, which isn't a lot of time, but it's a half hour of driving over there looking for it and then coming home, or 30 seconds to search on Amazon and then just say buy now. And then it shows up the next day or a day later. So anyway.
Yeah, it's called modern efficiency.
Yeah.
Good deal. I'm good with it. Don't have a problem.
It's like one of those things where like, oh, maybe we should go support like a little local business. And then you go there and you're like, never mind. I just wasted my fucking time.
The local business ain't helping me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess, Amazon's got jobs for everybody.
They
Literally.
do.
That's all we need. We just need one,
One mega corporation
yeah,
to
one
just
mega
rule our
corporation.
lives.
Just give us all jobs, give us all work, and then tell us how to vote and live
Don't
and what
even
to
vote
do with our
anymore.
money.
Just trust that the mega corporation's
Give
going to
me
take care of everything for you.
food vouchers, give
Mm-hmm.
me apartment rent vouchers. Let me live in the like compound that I do my work in.
I hope that they create like a trade system where you can trade two, like now let's trade 3 food vouchers for 1 pharmacy voucher. So you got to decide, do you want your medication? Do you want some food? You have different types of vouchers. So you got to, mix and match and trade and try to, figure
Yeah,
out what you're going to do with your ration of vouchers that were given to you.
I like it. Let's do
Sounds
it.
dystopian, but
It does sound a
promising
little bit
at the same
dystopian.
time.
Promising dystopia. That's not a good political platform to go with. Dystopian promises.
Dystopian mega corporations. That's where we should head.
Here, I'm going to turn the light on because I realize that it's starting to get dark, so I have no more light.
Yeah, I actually
face
was kind of,
here.
I was like, oh, his face is getting a little darker, but maybe you're just trying to create a mood for the viewer.
Yeah, mood of fucking drama.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, almost fell backwards off my chair.
Don't do that, man.
Oh god.
Oh god, get it together.
Hey, boog, boog. Don't worry about it. There we go.
Whoa, there's a light.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. You know what that song's about? Proselytizing, the Christian word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Our word of the day, proselytizing.
Yep. Prostitution.
I thought that's what you were gonna say, is that the song was about prostitution. And I was like,
This
is
little
her
light of
vagina
mine,
what
I'm
she's
gonna
gonna
let
let
it
shine?
shine. This little light of mine, and she's just opened up her legs and she's just saying, "This little light of mine," pointing at her vagina.
And her customer's like, can you just be quiet? I need to get this done.
Yeah, I don't know why you got to
Before
sing
the
that every
shame of
time.
me cheating on my own wife becomes too great, I just need to get focus here, you know?
Candy, can you just let me do my thing here? Stop
Yeah,
singing
right.
your song. I know
You
you
are
like
not
it.
being
Sing it
sweet
when
right
you're
now.
done. Yeah. She's like, it's the only way I can get through this. It's the only
I'm
way.
gonna let it shine.
I'm letting it shine, Jesus. I'm letting my pussy shine. Pussy shine. Brought
Speaking
to
of
you by
pussy shine, I have the mildly exciting news that I finished another book.
what?
Writing another book.
It's only
That's right.
February
Yesterday.
20th.
I know.
You can't write books that quick. It's
It's
fucked up.
now I have 2 written books that's ready to go, waiting. Well, Vanessa's still editing the other one. I was like, dude, you gotta pick up the pace here. I literally just wrote a whole other book while I was
Yeah.
waiting for you to edit this one.
While you were editing, like that Sandra Bullock movie, while you were
Yeah,
sleeping,
while you were sleeping.
while
Yeah,
you were editing.
while you're editing.
What a drama. What
Mhm.
a drama you've entered into the world. So I was finishing a book, right? I'm waiting for
Yeah,
editing, waiting for
I do that
editing. You know
sometimes. I
what I
sit down
did?
and I just write one.
I just wrote another fuck it. I
Yeah,
wrote
fuck
another
it. I'm
book.
tired of waiting.
I'm tired of waiting.
This one's a lot shorter. I think that's the only reason why I finished it so
It's
quickly.
like 3
It's like
pages.
I think it's just shy of 200 pages. That's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
like a
pretty
short
short.
novel. So
More of a novella. I don't know.
It was fun.
Um,
It was
what's this
interesting.
one about? What's the new
It's
one about?
about a dying tribe of Northmen who flee the country that they live in from plague and the Christians. The Christians are kind of like stamping them out of
Same thing.
existence. While at the same time, they're dealing with a plague. And so the book opens with one of the characters becoming the new lord of the tribe because his father's fallen ill with the plague. And so they gather the people who aren't sick and head out on their ship to try to just figure, it's like kind of their last ditch effort to get away. They can't stay. And then they go end up on this like kind of mysterious foreign land that none of them are familiar with. And then events happen.
Are there just like a ton of Hasidic Jews there? Like where all the Jews came from?
Yeah,
With
exactly.
their little black hats and their
The
little
little
white,
curly Q things
yeah,
on
and
the sides of their
their
heads.
white aprons and their delis. They just have
Welcome.
oh look, we
But
have
before you guys
neighbors.
all get off your ship, could you all wash your hands? You look
Oh
like you're all very dirty.
yes. Oh, I smell plague here. I smell plague here. Mordecai, come over here. Tell me if you smell plague on these new heathens over here. We'll get you Jewified here soon.
Everything's gonna be
Oh, it'll be
a-okay.
fine.
We're gonna have to kill that one
This
and
is
burn that
so
one for sure.
it goes from real serious to not serious at
Yeah,
all
right.
real quick.
That'd be kind of funny to
It's
set up
called
like
The
this
Island of
really dark,
Jews.
serious tone at the
Yeah.
beginning of a novel, and then halfway through it just becomes like this totally other fucking thing. They're just
Yeah.
something completely
Just
ridiculous.
changes tone completely. And then he said to him, funny stuff. It was so funny. He laughed. Is that what you do in a comic? When you write a comedy, is you say he laughed
He laughed, yeah.
after everything?
All the characters are just laughing to remind you and let you know that what's being told is very funny. I don't know the first thing about writing comedies, to be honest. All my books are pretty fucking depressing, I feel like most of the time. So I have no idea.
Yeah, I think you have to
Because
start
comedy
with
is
like
so
a
much about
premise or
timing.
something.
So it's like timing is a weird thing when you're trying to write,
I heard comedy was about
racism.
timing. Sing, sing, sing. Pew, 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 pew. That's what comedy's about. Comedy's about farting and saying pew, pew, pew after everything you say.
Just farting, really.
Yeah, what does comedy look like on paper? Is it just like smiley emotes?
I don't know, man. I feel like the only times I've ever really kind of laughed or chuckled at a book is usually because a character said something ridiculous. I'm like, oh, it's funny, and then you just, I don't know. Because
like
really read something where I'm like laughing out loud.
Supposedly they're like humorous books.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you just got to be real witty to write one.
Yeah,
I like real witty and like figure it out, because I think comedy does better in like spoken media, like like stand up and comedy, and because timing really matters, context really matters, and like tone, inflection, because there's a lot of sarcasm going on in comedy, a lot of like subtle turns of phrase that like you have to know the subtlety to it, so it's like culturally specific. And then there's just universal comedy, like somebody slipping on a banana.
Is that universal? I'd be concerned for the person on the banana, you know? What if they're hurt? What if they fell and broke their arm and they got a hospital bill that's going to put them into fucking financial ruin?
That's what's funny.
Yeah.
That's why it's funny.
The American healthcare system. Zing.
Oh, the fucking stupid Americans with their overbloated system of.
Well, lucky for you, we have a program over here where you can sign up for the low payment of $199.95 a month. And
we call it insurance.
Let me in so I can assure you that your problems will be solved.
Hello
insurance.
Stupid Americans. That's a French person.
And they're always got two fingers to their face.
Yeah, even without a cigarette. Even when they have no cigarette. They're just
sit around at their fucking cafes with their pastries just doing this.
Yes. I wish I could smoke, but I cannot anymore. I am not allowed to smoke. Stupid PC police.
Free healthcare too. You know, they don't want to keep paying for your shit.
With this stupid. Would there be like what's a French guy who like hates French stuff? He's just like
self-hating French.
Like no, not self-hating. He just hates like all the French stereotypes and all the French government. But we have so much more. Yes. I wish we would be more like the Americans with their conservatism and their private healthcare.
Guns.
That's guns. This is what we are missing in the France. Yes. Fuck your cappuccinos and your love. We need guns. Yes, guns. El Guapo. The guns are here. Have you ever seen that?
I think you're going further south the longer you go here.
Well, Spain, right by there. It's right. They sound just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
All
they
them
sound just like that. They're down
great
south.
Sovereign nation. They all sound the fucking same.
This is I am from
rolling
Spain.
their R's and skipping their Q's or whatever. I don't know.
Skipping their Q's. They don't even get into a Q. They're fucking stupid.
If you got more than like 2 or 3 vowels together in a row, that shit ain't fucking natural. That's what I'm saying.
You might be a Saudi.
If your name's like Bordeaux or some shit, and there's like an what is that? Like A-I-O-U-X or some shit, and you're like, what the fuck's that X doing there hanging off there?
You might be a Frenchie.
Also, can't have that many vowels. That's against God. God told me, he came to me in a dream. He said, Jerry,
how many vowels God
Jerry,
got?
if there's more than 2 vowels together, that shit's a sin. That's like fucking your sister and I'm watching. Okay.
Yeah. It's like fucking
fine to do if nobody's watching, but somebody's watching. Ain't acceptable. See, 3 is a party. You don't want no party going on.
Yep, because partying is a real sin. Orgy, that's a good time. Yeah. If God wanted more vowels, he would have put them in the word God. God only got 1 vowel. O, God, G-A-W-D.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere else. I thought you were going to go with, that's why some people think that sometimes Y is a vowel. Them's the atheists. If you think that Y is a vowel, atheist. That's too many vowels. A-E-I-O-U. That's it. Sometimes Y, you're a fucking heathen.
Yep. Fuck you, fucking
Amen, brother.
communist fuck. Think you can just add in fucking here
That's the first
willy
question
nilly
I
fucking
ask
vowels.
when a gentleman caller comes up to my door. I'm like, sir, how many vowels is there? And he says A-E-I-O-U, sometimes Y. Punch him in the dick and send him on his way.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me why I got gentlemen callers coming to my door.
Amen, brother. I don't have children. I have no children. I am alone. Gentlemen callers. But I still have standards. I ain't a third of the gay people.
Just the ones that believe in why.
Just the ones, just them heathenists. God dang old fucking heathens.
But I do agree with your other assertion.
But yeah,
that if you business about God having more vowels.
If you do look at it, it's hard to deny God's only got one vowel. So it's not like Godot or Gadoosh.
Now, you think if God was French, he would have been like Gaeoud, Gaud or something like that. He just puts them all in there.
What is it in the South Park movie where there's a little French kid who's like a little terrorist and he's like, God hates you. God is dead. Oh, fuck you. Doesn't he say that in that movie?
It's been a long.
I'm trying to think of how a French person would pronounce God. Stupid goad.
I don't know how we got here. Sometimes you end up in a destination and your fucking pants are missing and you just have no idea what happened.
Destination unknown. It's a song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
There's a song that's
sure.
where it's like a EDM, like a 1980s fucking.
Is that all the lyrics? That's just all they could
it's like the
muster
chorus.
to
I
write
think the
out.
chorus is destination unknown. Destination.
I love when a song has like just like 2 or 3 different lines of lyrics, but then in the song credits it's like written by like a half a dozen people. It's like, oh, everybody must have contributed 2 words, I guess. That's nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs like that where they just repeat and repeat and repeat the same shit over and over and over.
I don't need 4 minutes of this. Maybe
writing is tough. Writing songs is tough if you want to make it good.
It's more about that beat.
It's all about that bass.
So my mama told me I was never going to make it because all I knew how to play was a banjo, and she said that
there's no beat there.
There's no beat in a banjo. Like you pick up the drums, and
I'll love you again. But you pick up that banjo one more time, I'm gonna fucking beat you. I'll show you where your banjo. I'll beat you to death with a banjo beater.
This ain't the 50s, boy. The time of Elvis is gone. Banjos ain't nothing.
What? He's not known for his fucking banjo fucking parts. There's no banjo in Elvis.
He maybe had dark beginnings with a banjo.
I think the banjo is like the opposite of rock and roll.
I think banjos were just forever ruined after Deliverance came out, because that's all people associate banjos with is rapey
hillbillies.
Hillbilly.
But if you listen to it all, almost, I mean, a lot of modern bluegrass music still, you're banjoing it up. Like his banjos sound awesome.
I mean, if you are on a road trip and you stop for directions and the guy you ask directions to is sitting on his dusty front porch in only coveralls, twanging away on a banjo, and he maybe only has a tooth or 2 left in his head, drive the other way. That's all I'm saying. Like, I think you might have some decisions that you need to make.
I think you should have a fucking battle with your guitar.
A battle of the bands with Mr. Banjo on his front porch.
Banjo versus guitar, and then that you should get weird, like half smile, half knowing we're gonna rape you smiles from the locals.
Oh, okay. While you're playing in your battle.
Yeah, have you seen that scene in Deliverance where they have the battle? Yeah, that's the scene where they stop at the gas station, and the guy goes ding 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 ding, and then the guy brings out his guitar, and then they start playing each other's stuff.
Oh wait, is that really in the movie? I've only seen the movie once, like forever ago. So
yeah, it's like the scene from the movie before they know what's going on when they are about to head out in the woods. One of them's like a really good guitar player, and then he has a battle with the banjo playing, but the banjo player is like a kid. He's like a very young person, but he's all fucking gross, fucking Hills Have Eyes looking.
Yeah,
inbred, Son bitch.
Well, if they had invested in my healthcare insurance
Mm,
plan, they wouldn't have had this problem. They would have had all their
uh,
teeth. But they didn't
welcome
want
to
to
my
do it.
island where my fellow Jews will get you involved with all the local fucking communal fucking activities and whatnot. We've got delis, we've got a bank, we've got
Well, really just those two things, but
mostly just
you'll find
markets,
everything you
trade,
need.
trade, maybe a little bit of entertainment. We've got a guy over here doing stand-up, and then he's got an agent and a producer. They're all Jewish, like usual.
So that's how you know everything's on the up and
So
up.
that's what your book's about,
Mm-hmm.
is what we're getting at.
Mm-hmm.
This is a preview of your new book.
Right.
Is
Yep.
Vikings leave their homeland due to invasion / bacterial invasion,
Mm-hmm.
and
Invasion on both fronts. That's correct.
invasion of the poopy snatchers, and they end up on Jew Island.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But for the sake of it being in better taste, it's called Jyland in the book.
Jew Island. Welcome to Jew Island, where I'm the host. But
I mean, for a
everyone else is
while, I
a
didn't know what to
Jew.
call the island, so it was just I wrote in Jew Island as
Why
like
would you-
kind of like on a filler kind of
Mhm. And then just
placeholder title.
Why not Jew Land? Like a.
Ooh, well, that's a good thing I haven't edited it. Yeah, I have some time to change it
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, well, Jew Island is a little too on the nose, and
Haha,
so
Bing. Nose joke. It's a
and
little
so
too on the
I
long
just
nose.
dropped the EW and just slammed that J right out of the beginning of the word island, and then it became Jyland.
Jew Island. That's definitely
But maybe
Jamaican.
Jewland would be okay.
Jewland.
Because I feel like if it's just all run together, people won't realize that it's Jew land,
Yeah.
Just
so everyone knows, I'm Jewish. I'm allowed to say anything negative about Jews. It's totally fine.
and
And
just
not that we
everybody
said
knows I
anything
am not
negative.
Jewish, but I'm friends with a Jew, and I would vote for a Jew if they ran for president.
I'd
So
vote
I'm on the up and
for
up
all
too.
the
It's
Jews.
okay.
I'd only vote for Jews.
Like
I hope
when I saw
everyone's
Passion of the
Jewish.
Christ, I was cheering the Jews on. I was like, fuck that guy. He's a fucking
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah. Just so you know how like pro-Israel
like
I am.
I was like the one guy in the crowd at the theater that was fucking cheering. I was like,
Yeah,
yes,
fuck that guy. Murder that motherfucking
you can't trust the man who walks on water and turns water into wine.
Can't trust that motherfucker.
That is the
Kill that fool.
devil.
That is the devil. Obviously, he is here to ruin our fucking religion. Wasn't he Jewish though? It's all confusing. None of this shit makes sense. Is everyone just, all stories are just being killed by your own thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's
you
really
don't
what
like
the
this
world is
thing because
about,
you
is-
have it, and then you get killed by it.
What are you holding in your hand?
It's
Is
my
that-
phone.
Oh, your phone. Okay. It was throwing me off as you got, is that a little pop socket you got on the back of that? Maybe
Yeah, I got a little pop,
okay.
pop, 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 boop, boop.
I thought it was either your phone or maybe you were just sort of playing with a handgun, and maybe we would
Oh, I
have a
have
tragedy
handguns.
on
I can
this
play with
fucking-
one.
I thought we might witness a tragedy in the middle of this episode as you're like flipping the gun around and it just goes off,
Yeah, no, it'll be
that's
okay.
good. I mean, you seem like the kind of guy who would be somewhat gun safe, but
So
things happen.
far, so far,
I've
been
I have
shooting-
all my fingers and limbs and both my eyes, so
Yeah,
everything's going okay.
I haven't shut my eyes out with my BB gun. No, I actually went to the Sportsman's show at the Expo Center a little while ago. Earlier today with my
Oh,
brother.
did they? Okay.
And it was mostly fishing and like boats and RVs and not a lot of stuff I
Yeah.
do. Like, it
Were
wasn't
they
a lot
all
of
new?
camping gear and a lot of there wasn't a lot of guns.
So did you kind of like storm around? You're like, where the fuck are the AR-15s? Like, that's what I'm
There were
here
no
for.
ARs the whole show. Maybe a few
Mm.
that I missed, but like those booths were too busy because people love ARs.
You should have gone there and had somebody with you, like filming you, like kind of a jackass type situation, and just filmed you going around asking people like, where are the guns? And then when they tell you like, oh, do you know if they have guns here that like would be good at, I'm looking for something that could like annihilate maybe like 20 people within like 5 minutes, kind of a thing, and just like, start prodding with
Yeah, that
like
doesn't
just to
really
see what would
work.
happen.
There's an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they try to prove how easy it is to get guns. And so they go to a gun shop and they start doing that. They're like, oh, this would work good for like, just killing something like a about the size of a person. And then the guy goes, okay, well, I need a background check and I need about $2,000 because ARs are expensive guns.
Mhm.
And they're like, what? That's fucking that much? They're like all surprised. And then by the end of it, they're like pro guns. And well, they go to a gun show thinking that there's like this gun show loophole, which there typically isn't really. And
The
then
gun show loophole.
like it's legal to sell a gun without a background check if you're at a gun show, but not at a store, which is not true. But then the AR they do the same thing where they're like fucking around with the AR-15, and then he points it at the owner, and like everyone in the room just points their real guns at him, and they're like, yeah, go ahead, fucking fuck around. Because like gun owners and gun shops, they usually are carrying guns as well. So it's
Makes
not
sense.
that easy to just, take a gun from somebody at a gun shop or a place with guns.
I don't know anything about guns.
So. You don't?
Yeah. I mean, I did a little bit of research when I was writing some Westerns, but that's all I got. I don't know shit.
Yeah, they go pew, 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 but louder.
Yeah. They are designed to kill. So
they put little holes in things.
Their purpose.
Yeah, they're designed to fucking give humans godlike power. It's great. Masters over death.
Yeah,
I don't have that many. I have a few
dozen.
Few guns. I wish I had a few dozen guns. God damn, that'd be fun. The more the better. The more the better.
So is what stops you from owning more guns is just the price tag? You're just
like, yeah, they're very expensive. Dropping that.
Yeah.
I mean, a decent pistol, you're looking at $500 minimum. Get something of high enough quality. You can get cheap guns, but like the stuff I want is probably around $500.
Yeah. Is it like I mean, what about like Walmart? Do they have like discounts?
Not on the good stuff. No, it's all too expensive to really discount that much anyway. But you can get cheaper guns. You can get like a little pistol for about $300. That's decent. And you can get a rifle for like $200. That's like a shotgun. You can buy a shotgun for $200 right now.
Maybe I should.
And you can do a ton with a shotgun.
Yeah.
You can hunt. You can fish. You can blend food. You can cook food. I'm trying to sell you on a fucking shotgun.
Oh my god, I saw like some fucking video where like some idiot did that where he like wrapped bacon around the barrel of his rifle.
I've seen that.
And then it was like
just shot it a
bunch and then it like
got hot enough.
You ate it and you're like, what the fuck?
Seems
no way that tastes good, dude.
Like the most expensive bacon ever.
Yeah.
Like bullets are like $1 a fucking bullet, and you shoot like 500 bullets just to make 2 pieces of bacon.
That's some damn good bacon, though.
God damn, that's some fucking American
bacon.
That fucking American bacon. That's America's bacon.
That is 100% pure American bacon. Comes off an American hog, cooked on an American rifle.
Speaking of American hog, I got one damn right in my pants. Pure-blooded American hog.
I'd be concerned,
Yeah, it's more like an American. What's smaller than a hog? like
an American piglet?
Piglet. Yeah, American piglet.
Little curly cute looking motherfucker.
Oh, my dinker.
No wonder why you're single. Walking around. I mean, if your opening line is, I have an American hog in my pants, something tells me that probably gets a lot of, swiping lefts?
Yeah, that's what they do when they see me in real life.
It's like your motto you have on your Tinder file.
Come check out this American hog.
Tell us a little about yourself. I have an American hog, ellipsis, in my pants. Oops, sorry.
Watch out.
This pen around. How's life with your new roommate? Things going okay? Did you already kick him out?
Nope. No, it's going well. They're clean. They're organized. They pay their bills thus far.
Sounds like a dream come true.
It's been good. Yep.
Nice. Congratulations.
You're welcome. Thank you. I don't know. How do you answer that one? Roger that.
Hey, okay. Thank you.
10 hut. Blue
Now you have
42.
more money for guns, so that's exciting, you know.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm actually not going to buy another gun. What I want to do is buy a conversion barrel to turn one gun into a different gun.
Whoa!
So
I
it'll
thought
be a
you were gonna
lot
say
cheaper.
you were just gonna save up the $500 to go buy a PlayStation 5 so you can play Elden Ring properly,
I could do
or you
that.
can buy a conversion thing for your gun.
It's a
That's fine.
very tough. Well, the conversion
Hmm.
thing's only like 120 bucks,
Oh,
so
okay.
I can get that like soon.
Oh,
The
okay.
PlayStation thing is a lot more expensive, and I have to.
It's more
Um,
about availability in that situation than it is
it's
money.
also it's also about like, do I want to spend $570 to play one game?
Well, if you already
Because I
bought
don't
Elden
really
Ring,
care about
it
the
probably
other
upgrades
games.
for free.
I didn't already buy it yet.
Oh, I thought you said
Um,
you got it on
I
the
should buy
old
it. Do you think I
PS4.
should pre-order it or should I like wait? I think I'll pre-order it and have it downloaded because
I'll say if you pre-order it now, I think it preloads. So,
I'm off the 25th, 6th, and 7th. So I have that 3 days to just
wait, did
fucking
you
go
take
hog wild.
those 3 days
No,
off and
that
and
it
okay.
I just lucked out some stuff. I actually was scheduled to work that weekend
Uh-huh.
originally,
Yeah.
but some stuff changed and I have to cover some stuff in the next week, so I'm getting that weekend off
You can
instead.
let the audience know that you're a huge fucking dork that just took a 3-day weekend so he could
No,
play
I
video
would have,
games.
but I didn't. And
Okay. But this is a happy
I
coincidence now.
fucking I resent the fact that you think I would request time
No,
off
you
for
know what this
anything.
is? This is destiny. Destiny is
No,
calling to you,
it's
my friend.
Elden Ring. Destiny 2 has been out for a while.
Oh God. You took a dorky joke and really fucking kicked it up a notch.
Dorktown, one stop Dorktown.
That's the sequel to my novel. They end up in Dorktown after Jew Island.
Yeah, yeah, the sequel.
Everybody's literally a giant whale's penis. Like that's
Yeah, there you
they're like
go.
humanoid dorks and they got to navigate. And what happens is it actually becomes a story about American colonialization and how we spread smallpox to indigenous peoples. And in this, they spread the plague to the dork people.
And then
So it's a
they
very
go
deep
down.
kind of commentary on.
Yeah, it's like you're the victim, now you're the oppressor.
Mhm.
How does it feel, fuckface?
Yep. It's going to be a really powerful novel, I think.
I think so. Very
Mhm.
timely. I Are you allowed to write things that don't have a plague in them nowadays? Or does everything have to have a pandemic of some sort?
No, everything's got to have a
Yeah,
pandemic.
it won't be relatable if it doesn't have a
Yeah.
virus
I
in
always wanted to
the
write a story
world.
that had a plague in it, like, old school Black Death kind of plague.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of part of the reason why I injected that into the story.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
It
another
was my
pun.
opportunity.
Injection. That's like a
Hmm.
thing. That's a word. You had a plague situation in the world carry on as well.
Yes, but that's
It was
different
like a
in that,
cancerous growth type situation.
yeah. But then once you find out later on in the story what's going on, it's not really it's something different. But you're right. That is kind of along the same lines. That's correct.
Yeah, I don't remember what the cause of that was. It's been a while since I read that book. Been a long while.
It's
I'll have
well,
to read it
it's been
again.
out a while.
I have to
Time
read it
to
again.
bust it out again. That one's only
Mm-hmm.
like 600 something pages.
It's
Bust that out
only,
in a
yeah,
weekend or something.
no
Um,
way.
have you been reading anything lately? Have you had a chance to check out any of your Christmas books?
No,
Suck a fish.
before you sent those to me, I started, um, don't call me a fish.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. I'll just stick with
Surely,
sucker next.
yeah, just call me a sucker.
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 Oh, you don't have to throw gang signs up.
I started reading Dune, another Dune book, right when you
Oh
sent me
God.
those, and I
Uh-huh.
can't read two books at the same time.
No,
I'll
I can't
fucking
either.
trip
I
out.
understand.
So I'm like almost done with Dune, and it's getting good. It took about half the book for me to like get into it, but I liked those books so much I just kept with it. And now it's starting to get really like some shit's actually happening instead of all this prelude to some shit happening.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm reading Heretics of Dune, which is the fifth book.
Fuck,
Uh,
wow, you've read a lot
yeah,
of them. You're really
I
into it, man.
I
You're gonna be
like
at like
Dune.
some fucking Dune con
I
dressed
would
up like
I would
Paul
go to a Dune
Atreides or
con, but
whatever.
Dune is a weird set of books. It's not very mainstream when it comes to like external versions of it. Like it's hard to explain anything that happens in Dune. It's hard to even like be part of a community because it's so fucking obscure and like confusing.
Well, I feel like if you're gonna be in like a Dune community, you got to be in it, because they probably sit down at like a dark table in a
Hmm.
weird place and
With
just
their
really hash out what they believe is happening in the novels, like what the underlying themes are, and
Oh man,
all
and the
kinds of stuff.
fucking all the espionage and the fucking Bene Gesserit and the fucking no
Yeah,
ships and
keep
the
going.
glow globes and the fucking shields and the shield walls and the fucking divided god.
You
I
should make
know.
a ASMR video of
Oh
just you.
no.
Oh no, it's happening again. Why does my camera always do this? Anyway, let me finish this thought. Make an
Okay.
ASMR video where it's just you or just spouting off a bunch of random Dune terminology.
Like, oh my gosh, Dune. This is gonna be so good. Oh, Dune.
The
Fucking
spice.
oh, the spice. Milan. Oh, the Milan. And then I'll go,
Oh, this is me putting up
that's
my
me
shield
eating.
wall.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like your camera must be on a timer because it's like exactly an hour in
Yeah, I'll have to look
or
at
an
my
hour
settings or
and
something.
10 or something like that. Like,
Let
what
me
is going on? See
my
if you can just
camera.
go to your video
Oh, there we
preferences.
go.
Yeah, there you go.
I just clicked the little video button. It just autoed. Let me see. Video settings.
This is fun for everybody.
Yeah, right. Everybody listen while I try to figure out why my fucking shit keeps turning off.
So right now, Channing is looking at his settings and he's trying to figure out how to fucking
You're supposed to
not
be
have his.
doing your Dune ASMR right now.
Oh yeah. Duncan, Idaho. The Duncan, the Duncan River, or the Idaho River, I think is what it's actually called. Um, uh, uh, the worms. The sandworms. That's not ASMR. That's scary talk. Oh no, the sandworms are gonna get
Do they
you.
don't they do they have a proper title, or are they called sandworms? Or do they have some special
Well, it's
crazy
their
name?
their worship, so they're also known as Shai Halud and
Oh, there we go.
Shaitan. But
Mhm.
that's like the one biggest worm that like is like the most important worm. But there used to be lots of worms, and now there's really only like one worm there.
What happened to all the worms?
Um,
They just die of old
well, what
age.
happened is in like one of the main goals of the like good people that take over Dune,
Mm-hmm.
the Atreides, is to like make Dune more habitable, like to terraform it, and they sort of get rid of all of the desert, right, by like introducing water and weather and plants, and so the sand goes away, and the sand is where the worms live. So a lot of the worms ended up dying because of that, and then one of the main characters becomes a sandworm that can also talk and rules.
What?
He rules Arrakis or Dune for like 1,500 years or
Is it like
3,000
a
years or
genetic
something.
mutation where he just
Yep,
evolves into a fucking sandworm?
he mutates and becomes symbiotic
Wild.
with the sandworms. Yeah.
Hmm.
Spoiler alert, but there's no spoilers. None of it makes sense. So just read it. Just read it. It's like I could explain everything and you still wouldn't know shit. It would still be super
It
engaging.
is very bizarre for
Like
sure.
right now, the Inheritance of Dune, it takes place 1,500 years after the last book. So none of the characters are alive that you just got like done knowing about.
Mhm.
And so, but they all, because the stuff that happened in the previous book has like a long lasting effect in the universe, everyone's still referencing it. And it's still like part of this big plan that he's essentially a god and he could see the future. So he was trying to make the right moves to get the right future.
Jesus.
Sci-fi, sci-fi
Yeah.
stuff.
And a lot of drugs, probably.
Well, spice is a drug that like allows you to live longer. It allows you to like certain people become, can see into the future. It's a fucking powerful drug.
I wonder if like Frank Herbert, as he was writing this, he's like, I'm just gonna have a fucking guy turn into a sandworm. How the fuck, like,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. You
I
know
think
what?
I
It's
think
gonna
people are just gonna
end up
go with
that
it.
way anyway. But
Science be
they
damned.
were
All
they
this.
already were like worshiping these worms because the
Mhm.
worms create the spice. They like excrete it from their body as
Oh,
waste,
nice.
and
So
that's what
spice is
everyone's
just
getting.
doo doo.
Yeah, spice doo doo. Spice me doo doo, spice me doo doo. Um, Yeah, and so they worship it, and then so it makes sense that one of the characters that they were gonna worship as a human becomes one. It's weird. It's all weird.
Yeah.
Um,
That new the Dune film from last year's like up for a bunch of Academy Awards. So, people like it. It's coming
is it
around
because
in
it's
the
the
public conscious.
spiciest? It's the
It's
spiciest
yeah,
movie
it's
ever.
like the Dorito Locos spicy
Yeah,
nacho
it's like
taco.
this. God damn, that sounds good. Taco Bell sounds good right now. I want
There
some
you go.
Taco
Then
Bell.
you got oh,
You
you
know what's
already ate
funny?
dinner, didn't you?
The second somebody like at work or just in passing just says like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get Taco Bell," I'm like, "Yeah, I need Taco Bell now." Like I
Yeah, I
hadn't
fucking
thought
love
about
Taco
it
Bell.
in forever, but now I just need it in my life because the second I'm very susceptible to suggestions.
Especially involving Taco Bell. Taco Bell
And
is my
Taco
fast
Bell,
food kryptonite because people could be like, "Oh man, it sounds good like McNuggets." I'm like, nah, it
eat my
doesn't.
balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taco Bell is the one where I'm like, yeah, sounds good. Let's do
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yep.
I might
Get
actually
on
go
that
get
fucking
some
party train.
here in a little bit. I was trying to
No.
I was trying to eat better, so I had sushi for dinner, but now I'm still hungry.
Yeah, sushi
Sushi doesn't
sushi is
count.
interesting.
You got to eat a ton of it. It's too
Well, yeah,
expensive.
well, I feel like every time I eat sushi, it's like I don't have to eat very much of it to feel full, but then I feel like within an hour I'm just hungry again.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
like
like
I think
fast
it's the rice kind of
metabolized.
hits you right away and then it burns off real quick.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
it's the stereotype of all Asian food is that you eat too much, then you get full, and then you're hungry in an hour,
mhm.
which is probably means it's good because
Your
it's
body's actually like
your
like
body's
using
actually
it.
like uses it, and then you like you should be eating regularly anyway. You shouldn't be
Mhm.
eating 3 big ass meals, especially a shit ton of sugar before you go to bed, which is what I do, and have real weird dreams.
Oh, those sugar dreams. Yeah, they'll get you every time, man.
Yeah, I had some real weird dreams this last week. Real weird
I
ones.
should not have eaten that fucking ding dong before I went to bed
Yeah.
and then chased it with the Twinkie. Bad
Yeah,
news. No.
bad idea. All that extra sugar in my brain. Um, oh, what was I had a dream that I was hanging out with like really like low economic like losery kind of people, and
Okay.
one of them was just like super obese,
We call them poppers, but yeah.
and then I think they had like a dog and it like attacked me or something, and we were like playing video games. It was really fucking weird, and I like had to leave. I have a lot of movie dreams, a lot of dreams that are like me running away and then like getting into little action adventure situations.
With morbidly obese
Um,
poppers with attack dogs.
yeah, yeah, weird shit. I should write them down more often because they're weird.
Yeah, I mean, you could be writing the next Dune series just based off your dreams.
Just all dream
Hmm.
analysis.
Like it
Um,
seems really bizarre and nonsensical, but for some reason people just can't get enough.
yeah, they'd probably tried to like build meaning into it, and then that's where it would get people be interested because they'd be like, oh, this means you're fucking, you fucking are racist, and this means you're sexist, and this means
Hmm.
you're a fucking homophobe, and
And
this
this
means
all
you
really
hate
just means you should
dogs.
kill yourself because
Yeah,
you're a horrible person.
because you're white. But am I? Who knows?
You're a 30 something white man with a beard. You're
I'm
basically you're basically
I'm
almost
part
every
Jew.
domestic terrorist that's ever
I'm
existed.
part Jew. I'm part Jew,
Yeah, but
so
nobody
I
would know
don't
that.
care. Yeah, not
If
by
your
looking at
last
me.
name was like Goldstein or something,
How do you know it's
maybe
not?
because it's gray.
Oh yeah, fuck. You know my name. What's my name? What you really want? DMX. What you
Oh,
really
DMX.
want?
Okay. I was like, what are
DMX.
we? What's happening
Do
now?
you remember that Nas song, Got Yourself a Gun? That was a good song.
No,
Oh, you don't?
sorry.
Oh, you
Yeah,
suck. Never mind then.
yeah, hip hop and rap and stuff's
Hip Hop Anonymous?
never been much in my
What about the
earbuds.
Insane Clown Posse? You're not a big insane ICP
No,
fucking juggalo? You're
not
not
at all.
drinking your
I had like a
Fago?
brief time when I listened to some ICP when like it's sixth grade, but it was more because it felt edgy and
Yeah.
cool.
I was really into it for
Um,
like a year because I was like being rebellious and I was like, oh,
yeah.
they say fuck a lot.
Yeah, that was the same time I was like listening to Limp Bizkit, and it was just because of all the swearing. Because my mom would let me swear if I
Yeah,
was
Limp
singing the
Bizkit.
song, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
My parents didn't know I was listening to this heathen music.
yeah,
I
Limp
just
Bizkit
did
and
it.
ICP. Oof, bad
Oh,
news bears,
you,
man.
you were about this close to hell, bud.
Yeah,
You almost went right there. Just
yeah.
don't pass
You're
go. Don't
dipping your
get two hundred
toes into
dollars.
the lake of fire, my friend.
Not good. Not the old Jizz Biscuit. He didn't really make it very far.
Jizz Biscuit?
Jizz Biscuit.
Hmm.
It's the Limp Bizkit's dog.
Oh, I thought it was like their side project band or something.
Their side project. Um, what was this song? What was Limp Bizkit's song?
They had quite a few actually hits.
Did they? They had a
Yeah,
few hits.
they
I
had
don't
quite a
know
few.
about
I feel
that.
like.
I don't know about
I feel
that.
like
A
their last
few.
big hit was when they covered "Behind Blue Eyes" for Gone for Good.
Behind Blue Eyes. That was actually a pretty decent cover.
Um,
Um,
but I mean, they did a cover of Faith that was
no
pretty
one
popular.
knows what it's
Rollin' was pretty
like
popular.
to be the sad one, to be the mad one. I'm pretty sure everyone with blue eyes knows what it's like to have blue eyes.
Yeah,
You fucking idiot. Nookie. I did it all for the Nookie.
yeah.
The
So
Nookie. And then
they
a
had
fucking
probably at
Nookie
least
and
a
the
half a
Nookie.
dozen songs that were
Oh
pretty
yeah,
big.
My Way.
See, now that you're looking at it, you're like, fuck, they did have a
Uh-huh.
lot of hits.
Uh-huh. Well, sure. Let's yeah,
Let's calm it
I
down
don't
with
know
the
if I
word a
mean they
lot,
had
okay?
hits, but I don't think I enjoyed all of these songs.
I think,
Um,
well, you know what you should do is just pull them up on your phone, start listening to them. Maybe next time you're doing
that's
a workout
true.
or
I
something,
need to get
work out
back
to Limp
into it.
Bizkit.
I miss it. I'm it's called Miss Biscuit
Mm-hmm.
and I miss it. I miss the biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
All that like kind it was like kind of after Eminem like
Eminem was
made
another one I listened to at the same time, but again, it was more because of
well,
the edgy lyrics than it was anything
yeah, I
else.
remember that too when he had his
His little Slim
Slim
Shady.
Shady LP.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like very dark and fucking rude.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, we can listen to this. I'm gonna get in so much trouble. And I remember it was like my younger sister's friend brought the CD over, and they were like 4 years younger than me. And I was like,
Did
how are
you
these
answer the
young
door in
people?
like a business suit and a tie? And you're like, ooh, I heard this Eminem is quite vulgar.
No, I was probably in like elementary school, something like that.
Just
Oh,
a
sister.
little Jewish
Oh,
Joseph
sister.
Gray in his suit and
Yeah,
tie.
I wish I was a little suit and tie wear when I was a kid. That would have been way
You
cooler.
caught some of the sound waves on your way to church, and you were like, "Ooh, this is
Mother would not
titillating but
approve.
inappropriate. I don't know what I should do."
I knew what I should do.
And now here you are talking about stabbing babies in the eye with penises, and
I didn't bring that up. You thought of that. That's your fault. I take credit for your little psychotic thing
your
there.
fucking heinous thoughts.
Heinous, the heinous, because they heinous.
That's what we should retitle this podcast. No longer fleeting thoughts, it's heinous thoughts.
Heinous thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The heinous thoughts podcast.
I thought about doing an entire podcast just based on porn because I feel like I have a real good base
Like a
of
break, like kind of like
there.
reviewing porn, or just sort of discussing
Just
the industry,
celebrating it,
That's...
just general celebrations.
Are you gonna have like porn videos playing in the background of your podcast?
No, but you
It's
might.
like
I might. There might be some visual
green screen your thing, and then just
appendixes.
have a porn video. It's like your whole green screen,
just on
some
mute,
chick getting
just
railed.
on mute behind me, and we talk about just other things, but still porn related.
Or you talk about like really sophisticated educational topics, but you just have a porn video playing
It's
on your
just
green screen the whole
to
time.
add sex appeal to the really boring. Like I'll just do history. I'll read history from textbooks.
Like a textbook, yeah. Try to just discuss astrophysics or something.
And every once in a while, I'll accidentally unmute it. Oh, sorry. Click. My bad. Now back to the fall of the Mongolian Empire in 12 AD. Blah 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 blah.
Well, you could create a persona where you have porn playing on your computer and you assume that nobody else can see it, right?
Yeah,
so it's like you're watching porn while reading your history book, and then it's like, when the sound kicks in,
you can see that. You
must
can
have been
see
my
that?
cat. I'm sorry about that. It was my cat.
My bad. Oh no, scandal.
I'm gonna get cancelled for that.
Cat cancelled.
Well, anyway, make the podcast happen is what I would suggest. That sounds like a
Make
great
it
idea.
happen. Make it happen. There aren't a lot of successful
Porn podcast?
porn commentary
Yeah, I don't think so.
situations.
You might find your niche, like
My niche.
or niche if you're an asshole. However
It's
you pronounce it.
niche. Just do
niche.
it.
Okay.
Not niche, just do it. Henry, what is his name? Michael Knight.
Oh, from the Nike guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nike guy.
Is it Matthew Knight?
Matthew
I think it's
Knight.
Matthew Knight.
Matthew
Yeah, it's
Knight
Matthew Knight
Arena.
Arena. So I'm assuming that his name's Matthew. Maybe named
Yeah.
after his kid Matthew, and his name was
Yeah.
Mike. Who knows?
I don't know. I think I was
Matthew
thinking
Knight.
of Michael McDonald. I don't know.
Well, he did have a farm, E-I-E-I-O, from what I understand.
Oh, MacDonald? Old McDonald.
Sorry, I was trying to pull in a song like you.
Old
I mean, you were pulling in
MacDonald
a
had a
DMX tracks
farm.
earlier. I was just trying my hand at it.
E-I-E-I-O, and sometimes why? No, fuck you.
You're gonna burn in hell for that one, boy.
Burn in hell. Like a rock.
Like a virgin. Hey.
You. That's the country version. Like a virgin. Fucked for the very first time. Like a virgin.
Whoa, putting a little stink on it there, Scotty.
It's the only thing I can do. Put stink on things.
Don't breathe too rapidly. People getting the wrong idea. It ain't about being a virgin no more. If you're, you know what I mean. Wow. Okay.
Was blind, but
are you looking up something on your computer right now? Your face just got really bright.
Oh, that's funny. No, I'm trying to figure out what to call this episode.
I
was gonna
good
write
luck,
it down.
man. I don't know.
Elden Ring talk.
That we talked about for 5 minutes. And
yeah,
then,
at the beginning. No, it'll get views. That's
people.
the point.
People will be like, "Oh, cool! Somebody else talk about Elden Ring. Nobody else."
Should I write Jew Island and then get canceled immediately?
Jyland. It's Jyland.
Jyland. No, I don't think I want to put that on there. You ever been to Jyland? It's my island.
What do you mean? Dryland. He's asking if you've ever been dry on land before. God,
yeah, what was this episode about? I don't know.
I don't know either.
What didn't we have something about pussy lights? Isn't that something like? Should I just put pussy lights?
I think you could probably just write Elden Ring and stuff.
Elden Ring and other stuff done been talked about.
Maybe some heinous thoughts. Elden Ring and stuff. Maybe some heinous thoughts.
Yeah, mostly inappropriate.
Well, I'm gonna do my recommendation since you recommended Blue Mountain State or Blue State Mountain, Blue Mountain State. Blue Mountain State. I was gonna recommend because I just started listening to the audiobooks because I'm a fan of the games, but I started listening to the Witcher books.
Okay.
Which I feel like you would enjoy those because you enjoy like kind of some nerdy sci-fi fantasy type stuff. And you played the Witcher 3, didn't you, at some point?
I did play the Witcher 3.
Anyway, but the book's really good. I've gotten through 1.5. Well, I read the first one and then I listened to the second one and I'm halfway through the third one.
So. They're by let's see here. Andrzej
Sapkowski is how you pronounce his last name.
Andrzej.
I think it's Andrzej Sapkowski.
Andrzej. Oh, that is
Goddamn.
A very weird word. Isn't it like Nordic or Finnish or something?
I think it's Polish.
Oh yeah, they might be Polish. That's pretty Jewish of them. A lot of Jews there in the Polish land.
Sapkowski, yeah, Polish. Okay, I was gonna say I could have sworn it was Poland, but maybe I'm just being ignorant. I don't know, but yeah, it's Polish.
I'm Polish. Just so you know,
like all fucking 3% of you.
Yeah, probably about that much. Probably not a lot, but from my mom's side, because my mom is Jewish.
No,
a lot of her side came from Poland. which is why I'm so dumb. Polish guy walks into a
Oh
room
man,
and then
all
he
5
just
people who listen to this in
walks
Poland are
out.
gonna fucking cancel.
Oh, I
Great,
think so.
thanks. Anyway, but the Witcher books pretty good. I'm enjoying them. They're very interesting. It's interesting because I started by playing the games, right? Like the Witcher 2 and 3 are the two that I've played, and and then I've been watching the Netflix series as the seasons have been going up. Um, and the especially if you start with the short stories, which is like the real first book, you realize that's like basically almost the first season of the show in a lot of ways. And then as I've been reading and listening to the other ones, it's like I'm kind of past the part where the Netflix show is now, so it's like all new interesting stuff. But
they usually
it made
pick
me
one
realize
book
that
for the series. Like one book for each series.
I think that's kind of what they're
I don't know
trying
if
to
they go in
do.
order, but they try to pick a book and use that to inform the series or that one season.
Well, I think what they did with the first season was they pulled in some of the short stories and some of the stuff from the first book, because technically there's there's a 6-book series, which is like the actual novels, but there's 2 books that take place before those books in the timeline, but both of them are just collections of short stories of like Geralt's different adventures, basically, before, like, kind of leading up to the actual 6-novel series. So the first season of the Netflix show is kind of like the short stories, and then the second season's more in line with like the first book. And they said that their goal is to kind of do a book each season, because they have like a 7-season arc planned out following the books. But anyway, but the books they're pretty good. It's interesting. It's interesting because it's very dialogue heavy. Like sometimes it's just chapters of just people talking. Like there's very little exposition in terms of like things happening. It's just people chatting and conniving, and but it's good. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So
there is a lot
fans,
of dialogue in the books and in the show. It's a dialogue heavy kind of especially the third video game. Like you go into some of those side quests and it's just fucking talk.
Yeah.
It's a little fucking old. I didn't fucking play this game to listen to fucking voice actors talk at me about bullshit.
Yeah.
I just want to kill motherfucking monsters.
And that's what I like. I would caution people, if they're interested in the books, is that it's different from the games, because the games are obviously hands-on, but the games are more focused on like monster hunting and like running around and fighting and doing all this stuff, whereas the books are quite a bit different. It's actually a lot more political than I realized it would be, because you have these different factions and kingdoms that are all trying to do different things and take over. And but yeah, it's really good if people are looking for like a more mature kind of fantasy series to get into. I think it's worth checking out. Like it has some, it has some swashbuckling sword fighting and some magic and things like that, but it's really a very political and dialogue driven in a lot of scenes. And one thing that kind of sucks too is that the series is called The Witcher and Geralt's supposed to be the main character, but in the books it's like you spend half the book without him even really around, because there's so many characters. It like bounces around all these different characters, and that was sort of off-putting to me at first too, because when you play the games, you spend all your time with Geralt because he's who you play as. So it's like when you go into the books, you're like, oh, I'm interested in the books because I like this character and I want to find out more about him and things, that because the games technically take place after the books are over. They're like a sequel to the books. So it's kind of cool to go back and like hear about things that they mentioned in the games that took place in the novels and stuff. But he's not really he's in the books, but he's not in it as much as you would expect for him being kind of the main character. So
is the books are just called The Witcher, but they just don't have him in it as much.
Yeah.
Were all the books written before the game and the show?
Yeah, I think the books came out. I think they were written in like the late 80s, early 90s. So yeah, they've been around for a while. And then the CD Projekt Red, the game developer, they bought like the rights to make the games. And what's funny is they initially, like the initial agreement or whatever, paid out pretty low. But then especially after The Witcher 3 came out, it blew up in popularity and started selling and making tons of money. And the author like renegotiated his deal with them because he was like getting fucked over. He wasn't making anywhere near the amount of money he should have been because of how popular it suddenly became.
Yeah.
The first Witcher game was just PC only, and it had like a small following. And then The Witcher 2 got a little bit more popular because it made it onto the Xbox 360, so you had more people playing it. And then, but like, yeah, Witcher 3 was where it fucking exploded. And now it's like one of the most popular fantasy series out there, I feel like right now.
Yeah, I think it is. Probably since Game of Thrones.
Well, now you got the Netflix show too. That just adds to the popularity because now you have people who don't necessarily play video games or read a lot of books watching the show. So that's how you make it as a writer. Is you got to get your shit sold to a Netflix or a movie company or something. Because once your shit gets adapted, then you're in it, man. That's how you get it. Not
There's
that many
a
people read. People are fucking stupid. It's too much work.
It's too much work, too hard to do. People just don't know how to read. Um, Speaking of Elden Ring,
Oh yeah.
which we weren't,
Okay.
what class are you going to start as?
I don't know. I'm thinking probably the vagabond,
Hmm.
or I was thinking about just trying to be ballsy and go with the wretch, just to because like really it's only going to be hard at the beginning, but once you get some equipment, it
I don't think it'd be
balances
that
out.
hard.
Yeah, so it's like because it's kind of fun to start as those classes that have like just because like all your stats start the same, so they're very malleable in terms of what you want to do with them. And
Yeah.
it's kind of fun to start the game with like nothing and then just try to make it work.
I watched a YouTube video where the guy made the argument that you should start with the wretch because the first time you play through, you don't know where all the items are. And when you play as the wretch, you actually kind of look at each item and go, well, maybe I can use that, maybe I can't use that, because you don't already have a good weapon, you don't already have a bunch of good stuff, and you don't know what character you're going to make. So you look at the world from this really open-ended perspective when you're the wretch or the deprived in the other games. But if you start the game off with like a one of the the vagabond or the samurai, you already have a decent weapon, you already have decent armor. Like you can just start playing the game and you can go through and you don't really look at every item as if it matters as much. And then so if you play the first time as a wretch, then you kind of play the game like with more of a exploratory kind of a perspective. And then after you start learning where things are and getting better at it, then you can play a new character with a more specific mindset,
Yeah.
because you can kind of know, okay, I can get this other item over here and I can get this item over here, but I can ignore these other items because I didn't get them. But that also kind of assumes that you kind of remember where the items are, and I'm not good at that.
Well, I feel like it's gonna be harder in this game because it's so much more open.
Yeah,
I feel like
less.
in some of the other Souls games, you really learn the levels, especially if
Yeah,
you've been dying
and you
frequently and you
play them a
kind of
lot.
keep
Yeah,
going back through them. You really get to know exactly where everything
yeah.
is and where
I,
the enemies'
in
placements are and everything.
in like three, I pretty much knew where like the Estus flask shards are, and the one that makes your Estus flask more uh produce more when you use it.
Mhm.
The bone. I'm getting mixed up with Dark Souls 2 because I've been playing that,
I know
which has
all
like
of them have
bone
like
ash, and
similar shit,
it's
but they
just really
title it just
similar.
differently. Yeah.
Yeah, and so anyway, most of like the big important items, I knew where they were in most of the games when I played through them so many times, but I never memorized like exactly where every weapon was and exactly where every like what every little little light, whatever that thing is that indicates there's an item there.
Mhm.
The little light fucking source that it shows you an item. So I don't think I'll do that with Elden Ring either. I'm not going to like memorize where everything is, at least not for a long time. Um, so I think I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to be a wretch and play the game with like I just showed up in the world with nothing and I just have to figure it out.
Yeah, there's something fun about that. Just being like, all right, starting at fucking zero here
Yeah. Well,
and just gotta
one.
figure it
You're
out.
starting at one. You have one. You're
Yeah.
level one. Sorry.
I don't know. I'll probably I don't know. I might start as a wretch, and then if I'm just having a fucking rough
Yeah.
time, then I might just actually restart as somebody else. And
It seems like because you can go almost anywhere at the beginning without fighting bosses, like you don't have to fight bosses that quick. Like you can go find a lot of stuff to create your own character before you even get that far into it.
Yeah.
Like you don't just have to use the club the whole time. And usually the club is a really powerful weapon anyway. So
Well, I'll give it like less than a week, and people will be speed running the game with a naked club only,
Yeah.
fucking no hits, blah
12
blah blah
seconds. Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
With 84 glitches, and
Mm-hmm.
somebody will hack into the fucking PvP system and ruin your fucking entire save. And yeah, it's
Oh yeah, I was reading
so
about that
fun.
where they had to like shut the PC servers off for
Yeah,
Dark
they
Souls
shut the
3.
PC. Yeah.
Like shit, man.
Yep. The people are always fucking it all up with their
People's got too much time
brains.
on their hands. They gotta just fuck everything up for everybody else all the time.
Yeah. They watch that Hackers movie too many times with Angelina Jolie.
Wow, that's a deep cut. What's
Bam.
her name? Is it like Acid Burn or some shit? Is
Yeah,
her
something
like
like that.
username in that movie?
Names like Brown Skids. Something like that.
Those movies are funny to watch because of how much
Acid
technology has
reflux.
evolved since then. So it's like you go back
Yeah.
and you're watching, and you're like, "Fuck, man, that is some ancient tech they're using right there."
Yeah. And they're trying to guess what the future looks like with like VR and stuff. And
Mhm.
it wasn't that far off because I think he's in a VR outfit where he has like an enclosure and he's like kind of running and stuff in the VR and he has a mask on, and that's pretty similar to what it is
Yeah,
now.
it's not too far off.
Not too far off.
Not too far off at all.
All right, I think we're gonna call it. Are you good? We're
Yeah, I'm
at
good.
over an hour and a half. Thank you for listening. This has been an episode of the Fleeting Thoughts podcast. It's over now. So
It's over now, so
too late. Too late.
you
You
hit
already
the
listened.
stop button.
Go to fleetingthoughtspodcast.com. Email us at fleetingthoughtspodcast@gmail.com. Go to joesnotesblog.com. Go to amazon.com to watch television shows and check out Channing's books that he will come out with new ones in the
I know there's fucking two basically ready to go. They're there, man.
They're
Just
not there though.
They just gotta, they just gotta be cleaned up some more. But they're there. They're done.
Yeah.
The hard part's mostly over.
Yeah. You need to sign one and send it to me when the new one comes out. I'll pay you for it, but just that way I can have your signature on it. I don't know why.
I know
not?
this guy. I know him.
I met this guy once. He
Yeah.
writes books. He's a good writer. He writes them. He's good.
Yeah.
I just came. Oh, I came. I just came. It's good. All right. Well, I don't know what happened, but something happened here. So thanks for.
It was an episode, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens sometimes when you don't have a definite topic. You sort of just raw dog it and hope that there's no VDs waiting for you on the other side.
That's all I want. No VD. No VD. No VD. Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
You're definitely going to get some Taco Bell. I can tell.
I know. I might just get like Postmates to bring it to me or something.
There
I've literally never done it. I don't have that app, but I feel like being lazy. But where's the nearest Taco Bell?
You might be opening a doorway though. I feel like once you finally open the delivery doorway with Postmates or Grubhub or whatever, then you're like, I'll just fucking Grubhub for the rest of my life now.
I'm gonna get so fat.
That's okay. You only got one life to live. If you're not really actively trying to impress anybody, and as long as you can breathe and tie your shoes at the same time, you're okay. If you have to hold your breath because your lungs are collapsing when you bend over to tie your shoes, then that's when you know you have a problem.
It's just
that's just a barometer for everybody to use in life.
If you nearly pass out by like just taking a piss because you had to reach down and grab your tiny little.
You had to lift your fucking stomach to find your dick.
Yeah. That's gross.
If the only way you can have sex is doggy style because you have to throw your whole stomach up onto her backside so your penis can get access, then you've failed.
You should not.
You've fallen too far.
Don't mate.
Yeah.
Stop mating.
Don't postmate.
Postmates.com. Sponsored by Postmates.com. Get Taco Bell delivered today.
And throw your stomach up on that rump.